Good morning and welcome to the third annual Glenn Symposium. This year our theme is convergence, deep space, near space, and aeronautics all coming together. On behalf of the American Astronautical Society, we thank you very much for participating in this event, and we hope you find it interesting and beneficial to what you do in your business. Over the next 3 days, a tremendous lineup of space and industrial leadership will discuss the challenges and the potential solutions for continued exploration of our home planet, our solar system, and beyond. My name is Alan DeLuna, and I am the president of the American Astronautical Society. And I would like to give you my personal thanks for being here and hope you enjoy yourselves today. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for this event: Aerojet Rocketdyne, the Aerospace Corporation, Ball Aerospace, Dynetics, Lockheed Martin, Maxar, Moog, Teledyne Brown Engineering, and our media sponsor, Space News. And thank you for everybody at the Glenn Research Center and for your support in helping put this symposium together over the past several months. And our planning committee is listed here. It's about 15 or no more than 15, 25 to 30 people. I really have not counted them, but we have had a number of telecons over the past 3 months, about weekly, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. These folks have worked very diligently to put together sessions and speakers which will interest you and benefit you through this symposium. And now I'd like to introduce Eric Kaler, the president of Case Western University. Eric, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Alan. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. The university is very honored to be a partner in this third annual John Glenn Memorial Symposium, alongside our friends from the American Astronautical Society and from the NASA Glenn Research Center, located just down the road a bit from us in beautiful Cleveland. Some of you may know that I've recently joined Case Western Reserve University. And by recently, I mean 12 days ago. I came to Case Western Reserve by way of the University of Minnesota, where I was university president and a chemical engineering professor. But a little further back in my career, in the mid-1990s and in the early 2000s, I was fortunate enough to be a NASA-funded investigator. At that time, my University of Delaware colleagues and I studied fluid physics for NASA, and our work was supported as part of the microgravity research program. Truth be told, I wish that I could be in person with all of you, because I would very much appreciate your indulgence in a lengthy conversation on the formation of isopycnic phases in supercritical fluid mixtures that allowed us to mimic on Earth the phase separations that occur in microgravity. Alas, I sense now is not the time. However, I'm told that next year, this symposium may be held on Case Western Reserve University's campus. If that's the case, then I hope all of you will join us here in person in 2022. Being new to Case Western Reserve, I've had the opportunity to learn more about the history of this great institution and its long engagement with NASA. In fact, our history goes back to the very beginning of the administration. I'm not the first president here to have something to do with NASA. T. Keith Glennon, the president of one of our predecessor institutions, the Case Institute of Technology, was appointed by President Eisenhower to be the founding administrator of NASA in 1958. I think if Keith Glennon were here with us today, he'd be thrilled. Yes, he'd be pleased to know that his relationship between Case Western Reserve and NASA has withstood the passage of time. But also the theme of this symposium, this notion of convergence, of working across silos, of sharing resources across applications, I think would also appeal a great deal to Keith Glennon. He believed that the education of an engineer should include a greater focus on the humanities to prepare students for the modern world. He believed in interdisciplinary research. He believed in blurring the boundaries between the different engineering disciplines. And he believed in forming strong partnerships with civic, political, and industrial leaders here in Ohio and around the country. I think this symposium, this exchange of ideas, the strength and partnership between the NASA Glenn Research Center and Case Western Reserve, it all represents what Glennon wanted for the future. Since his time, the university and NASA Glenn have enjoyed many important collaborations and partnerships. From 1985 to 1999, the Institute for Computational Mechanics and Propulsion program established a residency period to improve computational capability within the various disciplines of aerospace propulsion. In 1997, NASA Glenn, Case Western Reserve, and the University Space Research Association partnered on the National Center for Microgravity Research. The center's mission is to grow the Glenn Research Center's program of microgravity science research in combustion, fluid physics, and complex fluids, subjects near to my heart. The program continues to produce outstanding results. Also, in recent years, faculty members from our engineering, arts and sciences, and School of Medicine have received nearly $3.5 million in funding from NASA or NASA Glenn for research collaborations. And from 2016 to 19, former astronaut and NASA Glenn director Janet Kavandi served on the Case Western Reserve Corporate Visiting Committee. Her connection to Case Western Reserve made this partnership and our presence at this symposium possible. And just last year, NASA named my colleague, Dr. Marla Perez-Davis, to be director of the NASA Glenn Research Center. And I'm very proud to say that Director Perez-Davis earned her PhD in chemical engineering from Case Western Reserve University, and she also serves on the university's corporate visiting committee. And finally, today, 211 Case Western Reserve graduates are working at NASA, 148 of them at NASA Glenn. So clearly, the university and NASA Glenn enjoy an important, productive, and lasting relationship. And we expect this will continue long into the future. Once again, we're hopeful that next year's symposium will be held in person on the campus of Case Western Reserve. And with that in mind, I'll end with a very short video just to give you a better idea of our university's proud history and some of the cutting-edge research we're doing today. Thank you all for being here with us today.
16 Nobel laureates, captains of industry, inventors, innovators, and dreamers. At Case Western Reserve, we think beyond the possible every single day. From a 19th century experiment that informed Einstein's theory of relativity to 21st century technologies that transform education, we find ways to achieve what no one else believes can be done. Our Case Institute of Technology president was tapped by Dwight D. Eisenhower to create and become the founding administrator of NASA. Our former dean won a Nobel for work to defeat polio, a professor for discovering insulin. One graduate helped bring the integrated circuit to the world, and another invented the world's first commercial bionic device. And we are just getting started. We teach students how to turn their ideas to reality, take them to market, and sometimes sell them. But the real proof of our value is shown in the accomplishments of our graduates, whether leading in an emerging field or preparing to reshape healthcare. Because at Case Western Reserve, we will always think beyond the possible.
Eric, so thank you very, very much for that. I tell you, my little heart went pitter-patter when you started off your talk talking about the cryogenics and superfluids and phase transformations. Back three or four, maybe more than that, careers ago, I used to be a cryogenic propulsion engineer, and it excites me every time I hear those kinds of words. So our next, we've got the Center Director for the NASA Glenn Research Center, Marla Perez-Davis, who's going to give us a welcome from the NASA side. Marla, please take it away.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for the third John Glenn Symposium. I would like to thank Alan, Jim, and everyone at the AAS for once again pulling off this event against difficult circumstances. NASA Glenn is celebrating its 80th anniversary this year, more than 8 decades of research and technology development, of bringing spaceflight and aeronautics together to benefit all humankind. This year is also special for NASA Glenn, as we will celebrate this weekend the 100th birthday of a true space pioneer, devoted public servant, and our namesake, Senator and astronaut John Glenn. All of us at Glenn continue his legacy of exploration, inspiration, and discovery as we make impactful, lasting contributions to our nation and prepare to return to the moon with Artemis. I have reflected upon John Glenn's legacy and the first 80 years of our center's existence. Many great accomplishments come to mind: the liquid hydrogen rocket engine, the Centaur upper stage, the space station power system, electric propulsion, the advanced turboprop, jet engine acoustic, and many more. NASA, along with our commercial partners, is preparing to launch the first mission, Artemis 1, late this year. And that flight will be the first in a series of complex missions that will land the first woman and the first person of color on the moon. Our center played a critical role in the development and testing of the Orion spacecraft for Artemis 1, and we will look on with pride at its flights around the moon and back to prove the systems and technologies needed to safely launch astronauts on Artemis 2 in the coming years. While Artemis 1 is headed to the pad, we're finalizing the design of the power and propulsion element for our lunar gateway. Once integrated and launched, with the habitation and logistic outposts, it will form the cornerstone of our exploration architecture around the moon. And its innovative propulsion system will provide more access to the lunar surface than ever before. We're working on several in situ resource utilization technologies and processes that will help us understand availability, extraction, and conversion of usable lunar resources for sustained surface operations. These activities require a tremendous amount of power, so we are working with the Department of Energy to develop a lightweight and efficient fission surface power system. On the aeronautic side of the house, we're working to change the future of aviation, where the skies of tomorrow look very different than they do today. In our vision, we will make the world smaller with on-demand flight services that will move people around in ways we could only imagine a few years ago. And we will have supersonic commercial aircraft, hypersonic vehicles, and highly efficient, sustainable subsonic aircraft, all flying within the same ultra-safe airspace. As a research center, we have opportunities to cross-pollinate to create a convergence of people, knowledge, and technologies. Through this convergence, we see a great collaboration in unexpected fields. For example, shape memory alloys are being used for morphing winds with aviation and smart tires for future smart Mars rovers. We are advancing communications technologies for both space and aero. And many common technologies like radio frequency, cognitive and quantum communications are applicable to future space exploration missions and advanced air transportation systems. For 80 years, NASA Glenn has been a vital contributor to NASA missions on Earth, near Earth, and deep space. We have proven time and time again that we are successful when we come together, collaborate with our partners, focus on the mission, and execute to the best of our abilities. Once again, thank you for joining the John Glenn Symposium. I am confident the Senator will be proud to have an event aimed at collaboration and discovery, naming his honor. Before I go, I would like to show a short video outlining the past, present, and future of NASA's Glenn role in space exploration and aeronautics. Enjoy it. Thank you.
That is absolutely amazing. Marla, thank you very much. This is really amazing to see everything that Glenn is doing and the detail they're doing it in and the breadth of it. We're very, very, very happy that this is our third Glenn Symposium. And I really look forward to being out there with you and Eric next year so that we can have our fourth symposium face-to-face. And maybe we need to make it a week and a half. You've got lots of good
Yeah,
stuff.
looking forward to that, Alan. Let's do that. That would be great.
Sounds good. All right, so now we have a little bit of logistics things to go through. First, Jim Wade, the American Astronautical Society Executive Director, and I will be your co-MCs for the next 3 days. We're going to be playing badminton with you guys, bouncing you back and forth across a little net, the different sessions. And for those of you that don't remember what badminton is, it's kind of like squash, but without a wall. We will be taking a break of 20 or 30 minutes each day for you to get some lunch or to take a potty break. And so see the agenda for the day for that break. In most of our sessions and speeches, we will be taking questions via the Q&A tool. You can get to that through your application for the conference, and you can submit the questions there, and you can also upvote the questions you want asked. So if you see a question that's really interesting to you, go ahead and upvote that. Remember that a question should not be any longer than a sentence or two. If it's longer than 2 sentences, it becomes a statement, and we just don't read statements. If you're using Twitter or other social media, our hashtag is #GLEN2021. That's #GLEN2021, as you see there on your screen. And you can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Then finally, our session intros will be short, leaving time for actual discussion and Q&A. The full bios of our speakers and panelists are available in the interactive program. Now I'm going to take a little opportunity to do just a little bit of advertising for AAS since we have a couple of moments. If I can find my thing. Here we go. The American Astronautical Society was founded in 1954, and it's been long recognized for the excellence of its national meetings, technical meetings, symposia, and publications, and then their impact on shaping the U.S. space programs. Our members have the opportunities to meet with leaders in their field and in related disciplines, exchanging information and ideas, discussing career aspirations, and expanding their knowledge and expertise. I'd like to invite you all to go and look at our website. You'll see a lot about us. You'll see something about our committees, about our symposia, and about our really excellent technical sessions that we have. We have a couple of very excellent and very high caliber technical symposia that I really didn't know about until 2 or 3 years ago myself. So please go to astronautical.org. That's astronautical.org, and click on that, and you'll find there's a tremendous amount of information there about the AAS. Our next session is in the upcoming sessions list. It's our keynote speaker with Jim Ryder. So you can see that at 11:25 Eastern, almost on the dot, maybe 10 seconds off, but almost on the dot at 11:25 Eastern. Jim Wade will see you there.